Mahotsav celebrations of the Indira Gandhi National Open University. As you're all aware, states and institutions have been paired together, and this program is being organized by the regional centers Imphal, Kohima, Jabalpur, and Bhopal. Before give a background about the program and welcome our distinguished guests, we begin by lighting of the lamp. Astu ma sadgamay, tamsor ma jyotirgamay, mrityor ma amritam gamay. From falsehood, lead me to truth. From darkness, lead me to light. From death, lead me to self-realization. Lamp lighting is so very traditional of the Indian culture. The warm, bright glow emitted from a lamp is considered auspicious, representing enlightenment, prosperity, and knowledge. So with these words, we give a brief about our program. Before that, I welcome all the distinguished guests to the program. I welcome Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, our Pro-Vice Chancellor, who has always guided and supported us in all our initiatives. Sir, your presence is a blessing for us. We welcome you to the program. We also welcome our esteemed Director, Regional Services Division, Dr. Umesh Chandra Pandey, who has always been a source of inspiration for us, especially for the Regional Center Bhopal. Thank you for joining us on the program, sir. I also welcome all my colleagues at the other regional centers who are being paired with us. I welcome Dr. Srinivas, Regional Director Jabalpur, Dr. Shimre, Regional Director Kohima, and Dr. Neeti Rajan, the Regional Director of Imphal Regional Center. Also, I welcome all our coordinators, counselors, distinguished guests, especially Dr. Pandey, who is our special guest for the day, and our speaker, Dr. Baines, our students who have joined us on the program. I welcome all of you. Giving a very brief background of the program, I'm reminded of a few Hindi lines in Doordarshan that used to appear a few decades back. चमन में फूल खिलते भांति भांति के, मगर सभी का होता एक ही चमन. हो रहने वाले हम किसी भी प्रांत के, है एक अपनी धरती और एक वतन. So when we were paired, the regional centers in central India, Bhopal and Jabalpur, were paired with the regional centers in the northeast, Kohima and Imphal. We actually felt that we are united in our similarities and we are celebrating our differences.
Dr. Benito Holmes, unmute yourself.
Ma'am. I think there is some technical glitch. We need to solve it.
Hello.
Ma'am, mute yourself, ma'am, please. सुबह नहीं आने के लिए we regret for the technical glitch which is coming at the end of our regional director. She is just joining. In the meantime, I would also like to welcome Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra sir. He is the regional director as well as the director of Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya, Bhopal, which is a unique institution for culture and humankind. Sir, आपका बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है सर इस फोरम पर.
Dr. Anshuman, if there is any technical glitch because of which she is not able to join or continue, I think we can go ahead and just ask her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As per the provision of the university, we would request everyone to stand up for the Kulgeet, which will be played.
Jana Gana Mana, Jana Gana Mana, Ye Jan Jan Ka Vishwavidyalaya, Ye Jan Jan Ka Vishwavidyalaya, Saral Sugam Shiksha Ka Aalay, Jan Jan Ka Vishwavidyalaya, Jan Jan Ka Vishwavidyalaya. ज्योति जलाए ज्ञान की स्वाध्याय की अनुसंधान की राह दिखाए वंचितों को शिक्षा के अधिकार की ना उम्र का कोई बंधन ना बंदिश पड़ी देगी घर घर बना शिक्षा का देवालय ये जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का मान है सम्मान है पहचान है जन जन का मान सम्मान पहचान है राष्ट्र का मान है अभिमान है अभिमान है राष्ट्र का मान वरदान अभिमान है सर्वसुलभ सर्वोत्तम शिक्षा का निर्माता मुक्त और दूरस्थ शिक्षा का महान ये जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय देश विदेश पटल पर भूषित नवाचार से सज्जित गुणवत्ता से परिपूरित ज्ञान वाणी ज्ञान दर्शन ज्ञान कोश से संचित ज्ञान कोश से संचित सर्वगुण संपन्न शिक्षा का हिमालय एक जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय, जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय।
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will now.
I'm sorry about. Thank you, Anshuman. I'm sorry about the technical problem that had come in. Sorry about that. Just taking it from there, sir, once again, I welcome you all to the program. Giving a brief background about our program, when we saw that we were paired with the central RCs were paired with the RCs in the Northeast region, Imphal and Kohima, we realized that we are united through our similarities and we are celebrating our differences. So we thought, how is it that we can share our culture, our practices of both the regions? So we have actually planned 3 programs. One is a quiz on the Bhasha Sangam app for students of all the 4 RCs. We have selected students and we will be conducting a quiz by Google Doc for them. Secondly, we have decided to have a Google Meet selecting students from each region, and they would be given points about sharing their festivals, their cuisine, their cultural practices, and they would share it with each other. And they would form a group also for sharing and conducting various activities. So besides that, today's program, we have felt that the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav has been started by the Government of India for showcasing our cultural heritage and also to celebrate the 75 years of independence. So we thought, instead of making it as a one-time activity for just the 20-day period, we thought that this is something which should be celebrated, and the conservation of cultural heritage, which is something which is an ongoing process, and through these awareness, we contribute to the development and progress of our organization and country. Keeping these in mind, we have decided to have a webinar series, a monthly webinar series, where each of our 4 RCs will conduct a webinar once in a month, and we'll showcase the cultural practices, traditions, cuisine, tourist attractions, and so on of each region. So that is our plan, to have a sustainable model of a webinar series where we can continue the activity as long as possible. So with those things in mind, we have organized the webinar series, and this is the first episode. And in a while, we will request our Pro Vice Chancellor Mohapatra sir to declare it open also. Before that, I Dr. Srinivas, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Thomas. And really, sir, it's a proud privilege that today the Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra ji is with us, who has always been with the regional services since, as I know, since joining the IGNOU some 23 years back in this very month. And in fact, incidentally, I have completed yet another one more year on 9th of March, on which date I joined this IGNOU in Jammu and Kashmir. And he is a vivid lover of not only the nature and looking forward for really bringing about the change and emancipation in the human communities through educational interventions. We all know about him. So not much needs to be said and talked about or spoken about Professor Shrikant Mohapatra, who is well known in his own state, or I should say that in the state of Odisha, being the Vice Chancellor of State Open University. If I am right, then he is the first founder Vice Chancellor of the State Open University of Odisha. As far as his administrative acumen is there, we all are aware, and he has been a very ardent lover of both carrot and stick technology to set right the things so that they don't get swayed away by some kind of things, and we objectively achieve what is to be achieved for. As far as Dr. Umesh Chandra Pandey is there, the director RSD Regional Services Division. He joined somewhere in 1988, very much in the beginning of the establishment of the Indira Gandhi National Open University. It was established in 85, as we all know. And he is one among the first batch academic officers of the IGNOU and vis-a-vis the regional services also. Discipline-wise, he belongs to physics discipline and has a wide interest in physical sciences as such. But I know, and I remember to have worked with him, he has also a tenure in very tough places like Jammu and Kashmir, then Himachal Pradesh at Shimla, then down the line to Madhya Pradesh. Then he was the founder or the first regional director of Regional Center Khanna, which was then looking after Chandigarh and Punjab. Now the Chandigarh has come up separately, but the state of Punjab was being looked after by Khanna. Then he worked in many of the regional centers, and at Jabalpur he had experimented with a lot regarding reaching the real unreached, that is into the tribal pockets with his own innovative practices and methods, which we all know. And incidentally, today as a Director of Regional Services Division and with the blessings that we are also having Pro-Vice Chancellor in the form of Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, I think the things which he has already experimented with, that is mobile study centers in a large way, especially in the area where presently I am posted in Jabalpur, they were having a lot of success achieved. And last few years he has been with a kind of involved. He is involved vastly in kind of innovative practices or the bringing about the innovations among the learners of the Indira Gandhi National Open University through that innovative cell of Indira Gandhi National Open University, vis-a-vis the state government also. And he has, being a science background person, Dr. Umesh Pandey has wide, varied experience and exposure to the people of this region and right from north to central part of the India. And I am sure that with the blessings of Pro-Vice Chancellor Professor Shrikant Mohapatra ji and support of everyone and bestowment of Dr. Umesh Pandey, this program what has been carved by Dr. B.D. Toms and her team at Bhopal, and we all together would come on a big way in really bringing about the unity amongst the diversity what we have been referring in the larger format of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat, so that tomorrow the nation which is being expected by every one of us to be the largest power in on the globe in every terms, whether it is economic power, whether it is human resource power, any kind of power or soft power, then I think we together will bring about a change, and or we together will contribute for bringing about such a change. And thank you very much, sir, for being with us. I know that you are on leave, Professor Shrikant Mohapatra ji, but despite that, you have come and graced this occasion, and with your blessing, the curtains will be raised, and with your support, I'm sure that the things which have been objectively thought of during the last two sessions which we had with amongst the regional centers concerned, that is Nagaland and Manipur and Jabalpur and Bhopal for Kohima and and Imphal, we should go ahead with the kind of objectives in this Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat Abhiyan. Nice of you, sir. Thank you very much once again, and wishing everybody a very stronger India for tomorrow, and happy Holi also in the foremost, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas, for your address and also for welcoming our guests and introducing them for the benefit of all present. Thank you. Before we go on to request Dr. Mohapatra for the awaited moment of declaring this series open, I request our program chair, Dr. UC Pandey, to address us.
Thank you, Dr. Benny Toms, and all my colleagues from the regional center. So, first of all, let me welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, who is the chief guest for this program. Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra, Director IGRMS, Professor Harkirat Kaur Bains, who is in charge of SOT HSM training cell in Bhopal, and all the colleagues from Bhopal, Jabalpur, Kohima, and Imphal. I think this initiative to start a webinar series on this important occasion of celebrating the unique diversity and the uniqueness in different parts of the country, which is the basic objective of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat. The idea is basically to pair up different states and basically develop a sense of appreciation between the people about their uniqueness. The basic idea is to basically involve educational institutions, engage in diverse kinds of activities, which can make the people, kind of appreciate each other's unique identities. And that in that connection, I think the theme which the regional centers of MP, Nagaland, and Manipur have selected is certainly deserves appreciation. And I certainly wish you all the best for initiating this kind of a webinar series. I hope that you will touch upon diverse kind of issues which are involved in tourism industry. And tourism industry is one such industry, I think, which has direct impact on many other kinds of industries. And therefore, it is very important. And Madhya Pradesh and this Kohima and Nagaland, their commonality is that their tribal population is in huge numbers. And therefore, we should definitely try to touch upon those issues which are inherent in this ethnic tourism kind of things. Therefore, tourism is not only important from developmental point of view, at the same time, from national integration point of view, it is certainly important, but at the same time, there are certain sensitivities also involved. Means people who visit the tourism destination should develop a sense of responsibility. They should have a we should have responsible tourism in a way, I can say that, environmentally and socially responsible tourism. Means, so these are the kind of issues which this webinar series can certainly take up. And they are certainly important because what has been quite often seen that people who visit tourist destinations in tribal areas and less developed areas, they fail to have that kind of a sensitivity for uniqueness of those communities. And therefore, this webinar series should take up those kind of issues which can address these issues also. I compliment you for taking up this unique initiative. And now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, to please address the gathering of these students and our colleagues from the regional center, sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Umesh Chandra Pandey, Director, Regional Services Division, IGNOU. My esteemed colleagues, Professor Harkirat Bains, who is a professor in School of Tourism, Hospitality and Sectoral Management, looking after the activities of the school from Bhopal. Our esteemed special invitee and guest, Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra ji, who is the Director, IGRMS, Bhopal. Our 4 regional directors, Dr. Benny Toms, Regional Director, Bhopal, Dr. Srinivas, Regional Director, Jabalpur, Dr. Niti Rajan, Regional Director, Imphal, and Dr. Srime, Regional Director, Kohima. All the other distinguished participants, I could see Dr. Abhilash Naik also present here. So Dr. Naik, Regional Director, Senior Regional Director, Patna, and very distinguished participants. I'm extremely happy and pleased that the mandate given to the regional centers for organizing programs under Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat under the overall banner of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav has kicked off. In fact, I'm extremely happy that Bhopal, Jabalpur, Imphal and Kohima, that is 3 states of India, Madhya Pradesh, Manipur and Nagaland, have together been united and clubbed and tied to celebrate the Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat. When I presented this before the directors of the schools and heads of the divisions in IGNOU headquarters, I quoted the constitutional provision of India, which says in Article 1 that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. So the word Bharat is very much there in the very first article of the largest constitution of the world, that is Indian Constitution. And Bharat shall be a union of states. Why it has been called as a union of states is not to create a debate whether it is a federal country or a unitary country, but to promote the unique identity of each state in a federal setup. All the states are linguistically organized initially, and every state has its own culture, has its own language, has its own festivals. India, as Dr. Srinivas and Dr. Binitoms have said, signifies by its rich cultural diversity, but at the same time, we are all united as a nation, and that is Bharat. So we have lot of differences in terms of religion, in terms of language, in terms of caste, in terms of culture, in terms of scripts, and so on and so forth. But when we identify ourselves, we call ourselves proud Indians. We are all united under the banner of Bharat. So the basic idea behind this Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat is to appreciate, understand, respect, recognize and cherish each other's culture. Here, Dr. Umesh Pandeyji was saying that there are a lot of similarity between Manipur, Nagaland and Madhya Pradesh, because largely dominated by the tribal population. But I could see there are so many other similarities. The forest cover, if you see, is almost the same. The food habits may be more or less same. And there are so many other similarities when the chief speakers will say, they will highlight these similarities. When we are pairing the states as per the direction of the Ministry of Education, I remember we have made 15 pairs. We have 56 regional centers. So all the 56 regional centers were clubbed into 15 pairs. And very fortunate that Bhopal, Jabalpur, Imphal and Kohima were clubbed together, and you have all come forward to organize this meet under Ek Bharat and Shreshtha Bharat. I am sure that today all the participants will be immensely benefited by understanding the tourism values of the state of Madhya Pradesh. Of course, the entire state of Nagaland and Manipur are full of tourism spots. But Madhya Pradesh is no less. And we will be understanding each other's culture, we will be understanding each other's places of importance. And I would request the students who are present here to promote the language also, to understand each other's language. At least under this banner, if the students of Madhya Pradesh, that is under Bhopal and Jabalpur, can understand the language of Nagaland and Imphal, will be extremely happy. You understand the food habits, you understand the tourism, you understand the culture, you understand the festivals, you understand the language, you understand the scripts, and you will feel proud that I have understood something which is in my own country, and it is going to give you great benefits in future. So with these few words, I declare this meet jointly organized by Regional Center Bhopal, Regional Center Kohima, Regional Center Jabalpur, and Regional Center Imphal under the banner of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat open. And I request the organizers to please go ahead with their program. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mohapatra sir, for declaring this webinar series jointly organized by RC Kohima, Imphal, Jabalpur and Bhopal open. Thank you, sir, for your very brief but motivating words, and also giving a very crisp introduction about the very objective of having this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebration under the Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat theme. Thank you so much, sir. It has always been a pleasure to listen to you. You are an orator with a lot of clarity. Thanks for joining us today, in spite of being on leave and in spite of your busy schedule. Very happy to be able to organize the first program under your guidance and in your presence. Thank you, sir. I also thank Dr. Pandey for his encouraging words and for joining us on this program. Sir, with your kind permission of both of you, we go ahead with the program, and I request my colleague Anshuman Upadhyay to introduce our guest of honor for the day, Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra. We were very fortunate to have him because he is also a very apt person for joining us on this program. He is the director of the Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya here at Bhopal. So we are honored to have him on this program. Thank you, sir, for taking out time and joining us. Over to Anshuman to introduce the guest of honor.
Thank you, ma'am. With the permission of the chair, PVC sir and Director RSD, I continue the program. I have a great pleasure to introduce Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra sir. He has joined the Archaeological Survey of India in 1997, and he has worked in various capacity in Archaeological Survey of India in Northern India, Northwestern India, Central India, and he has the privilege to renovate several museums, monuments. He has taken a lot of renovations in the temples of Chhattisgarh in the Bastar region, and his special contribution is to renovate the Kalinjar Fort in Banda district of Uttar Pradesh, which was the seat of Chandela arts, the very famous Khajuraho temple. Most of the arts have been built in that Kalinjar temple. So he has great privilege to renovate, and he has been involved in various artistic and cultural activities. We welcome Dr. Praveen Kumar sir for this webinar. Sir, over to you, sir. Regional Director Director, Indira Gandhi National Museum for Mankind, Manav Sangrahalaya.
Thank you, Dr. Upadhyay. Will you allow for a minute? A call from my Director General Office is coming. So just pardon for 1 minute.
मूव करना चाहिए ऐसे, नहीं मूव करना चाहिए.
We welcome you, sir, once again.
Sorry for the interruption. Actually, there is a call from my Director General Office. So thank you, Dr. Upadhyay, for inviting me, and Dr. Vinny Tom, Regional Director, IGNOU Bhopal, Dr. Umesh Chandra Pandey, Director, Regional Service Division, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra Sahab, the Pro Vice Chancellor of IGNOU, and Professor Harkirat Bains, and other distinguished speakers and guests. First of all, I will congratulate IGNOU for its wide and diverse activities in the field of education, and also for organizing this program under the umbrella of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat. I have been asked by the officer, Dr. Upadhyay, to speak on cultures of Madhya Pradesh, and he told me that 10 minutes slot for this subject. Though I'm not expert of this subject, being I'm an archaeologist. I'm a trained archaeologist, and I'm serving Archaeological Survey of India. And for the administrative convenience, I have been given charge of Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya, which is a subject of anthropology. But then, since the request has come to me, and I prepared a note for the students of Northeast India. So first of all, I feel actually very proud to speak about the Northeast India, since I have been posted there for 3 years in Guwahati, and having a jurisdiction of all the 7 states. So I have a special kind of love with the Northeastern India, and that is why I ready to speak whatsoever the material is available with me. So for the students only, not for the subject experts, this talk is there. First of all, what the culture is, that is a very vast subject, and which includes archaeology, anthropology, ethnography, and their properties like traditions, ideas, faith and belief system, festivals, folklore, folk music, classical dances, folk dances, living habits, art, and many other things. So attires, even living habits, attires, food and cuisines, many things are there which comes under the culture. So by this way, we can divide the cultures into 2 major divisions, that is the tangible and intangible. Tangible is what that is physically available, like the monuments, like the art pieces. And the intangible is the traditions like the dance, drama, art, living habits, attires, etc. Many things. So first I will come on the Madhya Pradesh Madhya Pradesh tangible heritage. So that is actually that starts from the prehistoric time, and we have certain places related with the prehistory of the Madhya Pradesh. That is the ancient most is the Narmada Valley. Pathnora is a place from where we got our geologist found an skull dating 75,000 years BP. So that is the ancient most piece of artifact which we have recovered. And afterwards, the paintings, rock painting series from Bhimbetka, which is a World Heritage Monument, and the extension is available in the city of Bhopal, some part near the within the IGRMS complex, and scattered in the Bhopal city. Afterwards, when historical period starts, we find prominent monuments, and the most prominent are the Pratihara period temples, Chandela period temples, Kalchuri temples, Kachchap Ghat temples, and so on. And if you see the region-wise, the Bundelkhand and the lower Bundelkhand are dominated by the Pratihara and Chandela period temples, whereas the Malwa and Nimad is dominated by the Parmaras, Kachchap Ghatas, and so on. Afterwards, we find the Mughal period, pre-Mughal period and Mughal period monuments, and some colonial monuments. These are the a general survey of the monuments we find in the Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is very rich about the art activities. As I said, that the tangible heritage, the temples, the art of the temples, as well as the art of the sculptures from the Chandela period down to the colonial period, and so on. And when we come in the intangible heritage is also very vivid and diversified in the Madhya Pradesh. And the Madhya Pradesh is a prominent state where forests are heavily found, and the tribal cultures are also found. So we have collected some intangible art and intangible cultures region-wise. Means ki Malwa, if you see the regions of the Madhya Pradesh, that is the Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand, Malwa and Nimad. So Baghelkhand has the folklore tradition and folk dances tradition also. The folklores of Baghelkhand is the Basdeva Gayan, Viraha, Basgeet, Sidev, Pandwani, and Ghotul Pata. The same in the Bundelkhand with the certain deviations, the Alha, Bhola Geet or Bambulia, Varayat, Devari, Jagdev Ka Puara, Fag Gayan, Hardol Ki Manoti. So these are the folk songs of the Baghelkhand and Bundelkhand. In the Nimad, Kalgi Turra, Sant Singaji, Mashania Ablik Kayako, Nathpanthi, and Garba Garbi. And in the Malwa, Bharthari is related with the Nath Panth, Sanjagit, Geed, Barsati Varta, Nirgudi Gayan, and Relo Geet. So a detailed literature is available with the various literature, various publications, also on the Google. You can collect. I'm not going into detail because that will be a simple reading of the subject. And if we come to the folk dances, Baghelkhand area, Baghelkhand region is dominated by Pardhoni, Shaila, Dadar, Kehra, Kalsa and Birha. These are the folk dances of the Baghelkhand. Kannada, Nautanki, Badhai, Rai, Saira, Dhimrai, Jawara in the Bundelkhand. In Nimad, Ganagaur, Kathi, Phephariya, Madalya, Aada Khada, Danda Nach. And in Malwa, Rajwadi, Aada Khada, Danda and Matki. So you find many things are common in among the regions. And they there are Lok Natya Parampara, means the folk dramas. These are the in Baghelkhand, Nautanki, that is a Lok Natya or folk dramas, Mansukha, Chahur, Ras, Lakad Bagha, Jindaba, Bahlol, Hingola, Karma, Chedani. And in Nimad area, Ras Leela and Gammat, Nacha Gammat. Bundelkhand, Shwang, Akhada, Nautanki and Khamshwang. And in Malwa, Mach, Bhavai and Kathputli. So these are the survey of folk arts and folklores. Now the painting traditions. So in Bundelkhand there are various painting traditions. Sureti, Morte, Kohbar, Norta, Angarohan, Dosh Putaliya, Chauk, Mamuliya, Godan, Govardhan. In Bundelkhand area, Kohbar, Neuran, Angarohan, Kundar, Mormurela, Chhati Chitra and Tilanga. In Nimad, Pagalya, Kaichali, Thapa, Mandana, Mordhan, Sanjafuli, Nagchitra, Khopdi Pujan, Jiroti. And in Malwa, Shavnahi, Sanja, Marna, Divasa, Chitravan. These are the painting traditions of the Madhya Pradesh region wise. So now the some pottery traditions and pot making traditions, metal pot making traditions are also existed in the Madhya Pradesh, and these are quite prominently available in the Bhopal, means in the Bhopal also. This is a very generalized survey and very generalized information available with me on the culture of the Madhya Pradesh. Now something I would like to speak something on the role of IGRMS in preserving and in promotion of the tribal art and traditions. So you see, IGRMS is an institution which is located in the Bhopal and extended in the 200 acres area, having open air exhibitions and indoor exhibitions. We have a rock painting of Mesolithic period available within the campus of IGRMS for the visitors. In the outdoor exhibition areas, we have the exhibitions, means the living cultures of Manipur, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, and tribals of Assam. Then we have the open air exhibitions related with the South Indian traditions, that is called Dakshin Gram, or where we have the cultures of Kerala, we have cultures of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. We have Marugram, where we have the cultures cultures and their house traditions of Rajasthan and Gujarat. We have some exhibitions within the indoor exhibition area on the River Island, on the Andaman and Nicobar traditions, cultures of Chhattisgarh, tribal areas of Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, and 30,000 objects of 30,000 objects of the tribal areas related with the various cultures and their traditions. Also, we have we used to have exhibitions and workshops, various workshops to promote, to learn the traditions, their art traditions, their equipments, their culinary traditions, and their attires. So we have time to time workshops with these tribal people. Nowadays, due to COVID-19 effects, we are not having such workshops. But these traditions, these practices are available in the Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya. So I would like to request all the speakers and students, whenever you find the time, whenever you find the opportunity, please visit the Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya and learn from the various cultures and cultural traditions across the India. And please also visit the archaeological monuments, since I am Regional Director of Archaeological Survey of India. So kindly visit our monuments also. You are always welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. It's indeed a pleasure to learn and get to know many things about Madhya Pradesh, Central India. And this is where and how we would like to bring about the unity in the diversity. And possibly whatever, I'm sorry, sir, I'm just taking over because my colleagues at Regional Center Bhopal may be having some technical glitch. I'm Dr. Srinivas from Regional Center Bhopal. Sorry, Jabalpur. Yeah, Dr. Anshuman has joined. So what you have spoken about.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra, for a very wonderful interaction. Thank you, sir, for being with us on the program and also giving us a lot of information about your activities and your experience. When we are going ahead with a theme like showcasing Madhya Pradesh, then we are actually happy to have you on the program and very happy to listen to you and your activities. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the program, and we will continue to be in touch with you as we go along with our webinar series.
Most welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Going ahead with the program, before we hear our speaker, I request R.D. Kohima to share his inputs, followed by R.D. Imphal, and then we go ahead with our talk. Dr. Shimre.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, Director, RSD, my colleagues from 3 regional centers, all the participants, and Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra, Regional Director, Professor Harkirat Benz, and all the participants. Thank you so much. And first of all, I must thank Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra for giving us the details about the various cultural practices in Madhya Pradesh and the various tourist places where people can visit. So, as we have discussed in our meeting, we will have a meeting each month, and on the part of Kohima, we are planning to have this webinar in the month of March, where we have planned to, to showcase the cultural items of the different tribes of Nagaland. And we have a good number of tourist places where tourists can visit in Nagaland. So we will also try to showcase all those places which are good for tourists to visit. And of course, there are so many flowers which blooms, in different seasons. So those will also be good for tourists to visit during those seasons. So we have planned to showcase all those, cultural items by showing the cultural dances of different tribes of, the states, the food habits of the states, and we will record some of the places for visit in Nagaland. So we will also invite experts to talk on the cultural practices of the different tribes of Nagaland. And before that, we will, try to, present the videos of different cultural, dances of different tribes here. Because here, I think the cultural dances of Nagas here in Nagaland are very much unique. It is very much unique from the rest of the country. So we would like to showcase that. And one thing which we have in our mind is to showcase the Hornbill Festival, which is celebrated in the month of, in the first part of, December every year. So that really attracts, people from the, all the states, not only from people from the country, but it attracts the, the people from outside. That is mainly to, showcase the rich cultural heritage of the state. So this is what we have planned to do it during the webinar somewhere in the month of June. So this is what I would like to share with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shimre, for sharing your inputs. Now I request Dr. Neeti Rajan to kindly share your inputs and your plans for this Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat celebrations. Dr. Neeti Rajan, please. So please unmute your microphone.
Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, respected Director, I congratulate that the new Director, special speaker, and to my colleagues. So good afternoon to all. This Ek Bharat and Shreshtha Bharat, the initiative, this initiative is very good. It's make that unity among the different countries. India is a country where people follows various religions. It has a rich heritage and ethnicity. People speak various languages and dialects, but still all the Indians are one nation. They have mutual love and respect of each other. The Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat scheme is is a program to strengthen this unity among the people of India. So this initiative, really I appreciate that, Madam, it has been taken that initiative to unite these different states, Bhopal, Jabalpur, Imphal and Kohima. So India is a country that is rich in culture and heritage. It is the most diverse country in the entire world. This program involves the mutual exchange of culture between different states. This will be held from time to time. This will ensure a good sense of unity and integrity in that whole country. This will also help people to accept and promote their own culture and identity. This program recognizes the rich culture of the people in particular area. People who are unaware of their own culture will get to know about their own and respect each other's culture. So despite all these differences, the difference in languages, culture, ethnicity, religion, there are no hindrances to unity. Fraternity is the essence of the Indian counter. The whole country is a big family. This program fosters this beautiful and divine quality and retains them. When the states are paired from time to time, they are mutually bonded. They share common cultures, dance forms, festivals and other events. This way, this will increase the brotherhood, remain intact. The society becomes healthy and rich to dwell in. So in this regard, Imphal is planning to cover the diverse aspect of life, such as language, food, culture, tourism, sports, etc., and will be conducted in virtual mode in the month of April. So Manipur is having the rich culture, it's having a lot of cultural activities, festivals. This will be focused through this webinar. So Imphal as contact the students. We have already conveyed these information to all the many students through the WhatsApp group. We are planning to tie up with the higher education, especially with that Manipur universities. So Imphal will conduct cultural program, language. There many heritages are here there in Manipur. In Manipur, a lot of war battles, war memorials are there. So this also will be focused then upcoming months. So this speaker has focused on some about that culture regarding that tangible and intangible cultures. He has focused there in his speech, especially the Nanda Valley, rock painting, beauty of this Bhopal city, and Chandala period temple art. So he has revealed about that rich cultures of the Manipur. We got an ample chance, opportunity to hear all these things through his speech. So Manipur has taken the actions to conduct the cultural program in upcoming months. So I thank you all for this kind of initiative and for this arranging this wonderful meeting, wonderful webinar. Thank you. Especially I thank to our madam. She has taken a lot of effort to conduct this webinar, and I really appreciate her initiative. So Imphal is ready to participate and cooperate with all kind of activities. With these few words, I write up my speech. Thank you. Thank you so much.
For sharing your ideas for organizing the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav activities. Thank you so much for touching upon various specialities and interests of the state of Manipur. Thank you, sir. Dr. Srinivas is hearing us. If Dr. Srinivas is hearing us, so would you, since both have spoken, would you like to very briefly speak 2 lines before we go on to the speaker?
In fact, this activity, and especially what our colleague from Kohima and today's speaker from Mano Sangrahalaya, really they have spoken in such those things which many of us may have not been aware of, or we were aware, but the linkages to be created in such a way that really we can see some kind of common string between different states, especially in the today's context between Nagaland, Manipur and Madhya Pradesh. And possibly if these strings are somewhere we get connected, a large possibility of exchange programs. We talk of, as Professor Shrikant Mohapatra, our Pro-Vice Chancellor, has really well put it, that we talk of going in for the languages of other countries and all, least thinking about the language and culture of our own different parts of our own country. And possibly, yes, if Manipuri language and the culture becomes one of the main agenda also to be taken up by the learners as an hobby only, possibly we can have some kind of thing, and our colleagues from both the states will come forward to have some interface provided in this correction, so that today maybe the students of our region may be having a kind of some kind of avocation or professional work at those places also. Then it becomes easier for them to really go and serve the country in a larger way. And it's really good that you have roped in the very important resource person in the form of Archaeological Society, Survey of India's expert, and possibly together we'll have a meaningful debates and discourses over the period for the rightful objective-based outcome from the this particular activity under the umbrella of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat. Thank you very much, madam. This is what I just wanted to convey and share my feelings.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivas. For those who have joined us late, this is the inaugural session of the webinar series being planned by the paired regional centers of IGNOU, RC, Imphal, Kohima, Jabalpur and Bhopal. This is the inaugural session, and joining us on the program are the Pro-Vice Chancellor of IGNOU, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, the Director of the Regional Services Division, Dr. Umesh Chandra Pandey, the 4 regional directors of the four regional centers. And we also welcome many of our evaluators and coordinators, and also students who have joined us on the program. Also, we were it was our honor to listen to our guest of honor for the day, Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra, who is the Director of Indira Gandhi Manav Rashtriya Sangrahalaya. So that was a brief for those who joined late. So we'll go ahead now with the program, and for the much awaited talk. This is a talk by Professor Harkirat Bains, who is Professor of SOTHSM of IGNOU, and we have tried to, she has tried to speak on the topic of showcasing Madhya Pradesh, and has tried to cover or give information of various aspects of the state of Madhya Pradesh, as far as culture and heritage is concerned. We have planned this webinar in a different way. We have recorded an interaction of Professor Harkirat Bains in conversation with our colleagues, Ms. Kumud Verma and Mr. C.P. Mursenia. So this is a recorded video, and we would go over to that. But before that, we will hear an introduction of Madam Bains. So over to my colleague, Ms. Kumud Verma, for a brief introduction of Professor Harkirat Bains before we go on to the recorded video. And Madam is very much on the program and would interact with our participants after we hear her on the conversation. So over to Ms. Kumud Verma for the introduction. Kumud ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Respected Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. Mohapatra, sir. Respected Director RSD, Dr. Umesh Chandra Pandey, sir. Respected Director IGRMS, Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra, sir. Respected Regional Directors of the paired Regional Centres, Imphal, Kohima, Jabalpur, and respected Dr. Abhilash Naik, RD Patna. My colleagues and other participants, my Sadar Naman to all of you. I thank my Regional Director for conferring this honor to me for welcoming the main speaker for today's webinar, which is based on the theme of showcasing Madhya Pradesh. When we talk of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat, we automatically come to this tagline of Madhya Pradesh Tourism Department that Madhya Pradesh is the heart of incredible India. So, Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat is joined by the incredible Madhya Pradesh by sheer virtue of its rich natural beauty and of course man-made wonders, natural wonders, and of course also by virtue of its rich archaeological, historical, and cultural diversity. We all know that UNESCO has declared 3 World Heritage Sites in Madhya Pradesh. Apart from these World Heritage Sites, it is home to 2 major wildlife sanctuaries in form of Bandhavgarh and Kanha. This is the state which is home to the deer tiger, which is of course our national symbol. And apart from all these landmarks, it is home to various tourist attractions, be them spiritual, be them natural beauties, be them adventure sports, be them ecotourism, be them the indigenous and natural cultural heritage of Madhya Pradesh. We all know how famous the textile industry of Madhya Pradesh is, how famous the weaving of Madhya Pradesh is, how advanced the spiritual heritage of Madhya Pradesh is, how much evolution is taking place in tourism, whether it be it is in the form of adventure sports, whether it is in the form of water sports, whether it is in form of ecotourism. So Madhya Pradesh has earned a rightful place as a prominent tourist destination. And when we're talking about tourism, when we're talking about cultural sharing, which automatically takes place when people visit Madhya Pradesh. And apart from all these things, I forgot to add that there are various cultural and religious programs, festivals, which are regularly undertaken in Madhya Pradesh and in which tourists from not just India but abroad also visit. So, Madhya Pradesh is a natural seat and site of cultural exchanges. And when we're talking about cultural exchanges, one thing that automatically comes to mind is hospitality. Needless to say, hospitality is the backbone of any tourism industry. We have to honor the guests, we have to provide them services, and managing these services, managing this hospitality is a gigantic task for which we need skilled manpower. So it is in this context, it is an immense pleasure, it's a matter of immense pride to us that we have as chief speaker, Professor Harkirat Tense, who is a professor of Tourism and Hospitality Services Management and IGNOU. Madam is also heading the training cell of SOTHSM in Bhopal, and under her able leadership, IGNOU has been able to train regional youth in various relevant and pertinent skills which are required in hospitality industry, be that front office management, be that housekeeping, be that other hotel operations. It's a matter of pride to us that the intake of the training cell is not just from the urban area of Madhya Pradesh. The training cell has been catering to the educational and social empowerment of youth from tribal belt and other socially disadvantaged strata of society, such as the training cell has had the pride to train deaf and mute children, students from the region, and had secured 100% placement for these children also. So when we speak of social inclusion, when we speak of inclusive education, when we speak of participatory development, the training cell of IGNOU has been at the has been working as a stalwart in tourism and hospitality education area. It's on record that the pass outs from the training cell have had 100% placement in various tourism and hospitality industries, not just in the state, but outside the state also. So we thought that in the inaugural event, it would be more meaningful for us to invite somebody who is part of IGNOU and has been contributing a lot in the tourism and hospitality sector in the state also. With these few words, I invite Professor Harkirat Benz to interact and deliver her talk. And as Dr. Billy Thompson already informed, we had thought of presenting this event in a slightly different form. Since we were talking about showcasing Madhya Pradesh, we thought that shooting the interaction in real time so as to actually show something which is part of our cultural heritage in Madhya Pradesh and it's very near to our office also. So we shot this video, this interaction near Baratala, the lake, which is a prominent cultural and tourist spot in Madhya Pradesh and is visited by many people, not just from India, but from abroad also. So till the time we are in a position to upload this interaction, the perusal of all the esteemed participants, I request Professor Harkirat Benz to kindly address the gathering and speak a few words. Over to Professor Harkirat Benz.
Thank you, Dr. Kumu. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Mohapatra, Dr. Mishra, Dr. Billy Toms, Dr. Pandey, and all the eminent scholars, my colleagues, and dear students. I'm indeed very grateful for getting this opportunity to showcase Madhya Pradesh under the umbrella of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat. Today we are talking about Madhya Pradesh, and as the name itself suggests, that it is not only the reflection of its location, but it also has a significant contribution to the country's culture and tradition, since it has witnessed the rules of all the major dynasties, to begin with the Mauryas, Guptas, Afghans, Mughals, and finally the Marathas. So the state has a reflection of all these dynasties and the culture, the traditions, and it has a very beautiful kaleidoscope of monuments and the palaces, forts, and it is a major hub of all the pilgrimages of all the religions, may it be Hindus, the Sikhs, the Muslims, Jains, and the Buddhists. It has an abundant forest cover and beautiful ranges of Satpura and Vindhyachal. And the entire state is fed up by many rivers. Prominently is Narmada and Tapti. The Madhya Pradesh covers almost 12% of the entire total forest land of the country. It can boast of being a tiger state, and it has a rich collection of its fauna and flora. It has 11 national parks, and out of which 6 of them are the Project Tiger reserves. So it has become a hotspot for wildlife safaris, and many exotic species of animals and birds are here. There is a total population of 20% of its total population belongs to the tribal population. And amongst them, 46 tribes have been officially documented by the Constitution of India. They are generally referred to as Adivasis. And the main tribes of Madhya Pradesh are Bhils, Begas, Korku, and Gonds. We can also say that Madhya Pradesh has 3 World Heritage Sites of, first is the Bhimbetka, which is a prehistoric cave paintings of early man. Second is the Sanchi Stupas. It was built by Emperor Ashoka in the 3rd century BC, and the Khajuraho temples. Another place of rich heritage is Mandu, which dates back to the 6th century. And MP has number of temples and pilgrimages. Mainly the Shakti Peeths of Hindus are Omkareshwar, Maheshwar, Ujjain, Amarkantak, Sanchi, and Chitrakoot. Ujjain, we have every 10 years we witness the Kumbh Mela, and where I think thousands of people they throng to this state to pay their homage to the Lord Shiva. And state can also boast about the, a rich heritage of art and culture. The people like Tansen and Kalidas, they belong to MP.
Ma'am, your microphone has been muted by mistake. Please, ma'am.
A separate eco-tourism board was also set up in 2005 for the preservation of the local forest, the flora and the fauna. We at IGNOU, we are academic giants in the country, and to help in the preservation of tourism, the university had undergone the signing of an MOU with the state tourism department in the year 2010. And ever since, the university in form of SOTHSM training cell, we are committed. We have designed their courses for the students. 3 certificate programs have been designed in this context. One is certificate in front office, certificate program in housekeeping, and certificate program in F&B service. We also have developed one PG diploma course in hotel operations. Now, as we all are aware that Madhya Pradesh has really developed its tourism in the past decades, because many new destinations have been identified, they have been created, and almost 33% there's increase in 33% in the employability of the local population in tourism and its related activities. So on one hand, the purpose of signing up this MOU was basically because the state wanted skilled human resource for, support of its tourism and tourism related activities. Because you would all admit that if we have nice hotels, if we have nice properties, but there is nobody to take care, there is no skilled human resource, then we cannot really support the activities. So IGNOU in that section is playing a big role, and it has almost trained more than 2,000 students in the various activities which are related to the hotel and the hospitality industry. The new activities which are taking place in MP in tourism is aqua tourism, because Hanumantiya is a new place which has been identified, and it has all the different water sports, water rafting, canoeing, trekking. So adventure tourism, ecotourism, and aqua tourism are the new trends which are in Madhya Pradesh. And we have a huge, there is a variety of all the activities which can be carried out. and the students are providing that backbone of skilled manpower, which was really needed to fuel in all the activities related to tourism. In this context, I would say that we are also shouldering the responsibility of carrying out a very responsible and sustainable tourism activities, because the students are being trained and given this understanding that the tourism activities need not exploit the local, the water bodies, the flora and fauna of any place. The program has been designed in a way that is making them experts in the local cuisines, art and craft, the culture, which is all imbibed in their study material. And in fact, I am very happy to share this thing with you that because IGNOU pays a lot of attention in creating the study materials, ours also is in a modular form, and we have developed a module which is Destination Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, we also made 3 more such modules. One was Destination Sikkim, Destination Meghalaya, and Destination Assam. So all these hospitality related activities like housekeeping, F&B service, food production, these programs can be replicated in any state of the country. And we just would need one particular module, which would be the state-specific module. Like in Madhya Pradesh, we are using the Destination Madhya Pradesh. In Sikkim, if that module is used, the students can take huge benefit from the use of and Madhya Pradesh is also very popular as a MICE destination. Apart from its religious places, the forts and the palaces, the beautiful waterfalls, the new activity which is coming up is the MICE tourism, and it has become a destination for cultural activities. We have so many new fairs and festivals which are very specific to this state, like Jal Mahotsav and Khajuraho Dance Festival, Tansin Festival, and cultural exchange programs are already, in great vogue here. And
ma'am, your mic is mute.
Ma'am, kindly unmute your mic, please.
Bains ma'am, the video is also ready for display. You may wind up briefly so that we go ahead with your recorded video.
And we have the jungle camps and of the Lavadi, and the adventure tourism is also is really popular in Madhya Pradesh. I think Madam Toms is ready with the video.
Yes, ma'am, it's ready. You can go ahead with that.
Okay, ma'am.
तो सबसे पहला जो आइडिया जहन में आता है वो ये होता है मध्य प्रदेश भारत का दिल, इसको भी पूरा टूरिज्म सेक्टर है। सर क्यों आ रहा अभी 10 सेकंड पीछे रहती है। नीचे पे लगाओ ना, लगाओ लोकेशन क्लियर नहीं है। खराब हो
नहीं, but because इसमें इतना vibrant, इतनी इसमें अलग-अलग तरह की आपको डिफरेंट इसमें चीजें देखने को मिलती हैं, जैसे कि इसमें it has experienced the rules of different major dynasties which ruled India. जैसे हम मौर्यन एम्पायर को देखें, उसके बाद गुप्तास को देखें, अफगान्स, मुस्लिम्स और मराठास, तो उन सब की जो एक छाप है यहाँ पे उनके डायनेस्टी के दौरान, जो कल्चर में, ट्रेडिशंस में, यहाँ के मॉन्यूमेंट्स, फोर्ट्स, पैलेसेस, इन सब में वो दिखाई देती है जी। और टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री के लिए ये यहाँ पे एक खजाना जैसा होता है, वो उस तरह का है, बिकॉज यहाँ पे बहुत
we regret for the quality of the video which is not being shared properly. We'll try in a minute or two. Because of today's internet problem, we are facing a lot of technical hitches. We will upload it on IGNOU's YouTube channel and we will share with everyone. We are uploading it on the channel and then we are sharing the video. In the meanwhile, I request my Regional Director, Dr. Binny Thompson, to carry on.
Today there is a connectivity issue at the RC. Maybe that is the reason the video is also not being played properly. We would be uploading it on our YouTube channel immediately. So because of this issue, I request ma'am to wind up her talk in a minute so that we can take questions, because ma'am has already detailed us about the initiatives of the school, and also she has spoken on the theme of showcasing Madhya Pradesh. So, ma'am, maybe you can just wind up in a minute. We can display the video later on YouTube for the viewers to see. And maybe we can take questions and go ahead with the program. I request Ma'am Bains and Kumud ma'am to go ahead with the program.
Thank you, Dr. I would just wind up by saying that in future also we are committed for the cause of showcasing Madhya Pradesh and to promote tourism in it. And the students are encouraged to join these programs. And we would also we are making an effort of designing some few more programs related to art and craft. And training can be given in making of various artifacts to the students. And any questions, if anybody would want to ask, they are welcome.
Thank you for your
तो सबसे पहला जो आइडिया समझ में आता है मध्य प्रदेश भारत का दिल, तो ये जो पूरा टूरिज्म सेक्टर है मध्य प्रदेश उसके बारे में आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा है? इसमें डॉक्टर कुमम कोई इसमें दो राय नहीं है कि मध्य प्रदेश जो है दिस इज हार्ट ऑफ इनक्रेडिबल इंडिया, और ये सिर्फ एक लोकेशनल चीज नहीं है कि ये इसकी लोकेशन सेंट्रल इंडिया में है तो हमने इसको मध्य प्रदेश कहीं, बट बिकॉज इसमें इतना वाइब्रेंट, इतनी इसमें अलग अलग तरह की आपको डिफरेंट उसमें चीजें देखने को मिलती हैं, जैसे कि इसमें इट हैज एक्सपीरियंस द रूल्स ऑफ डिफरेंट मेजर डायनेस्टीज व्हिच रूल्ड इंडिया, जैसे हम मौर्यन एम्पायर को देखें, उसके बाद गुप्तास को देखें, अफगान्स, मुस्लिम्स और मराठास, तो उन सब की जो एक छाप है यहाँ पे उनकी डायनेस्टी के दौरान, उनके कल्चर में, ट्रेडिशंस में, यहाँ के मॉन्यूमेंट्स, फोर्ट्स, पैलेसेस, इन सब में वो दिखाई देती है जी। और टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री के लिए ये यहाँ पे एक खजाना जैसा होता है, वो उस तरह का है बिकॉज यहाँ पे बहुत डाइवर्स चीजें आपको एक ही जगह में देखने को मिल जाती हैं, और कंट्री का जितना फॉरेस्ट लैंड है उसका 12% ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट कवर इज इन मध्य प्रदेश। यहाँ पे 11 नेशनल पार्क्स हैं एंड इट इज टाइगर स्टेट ऑफ द कंट्री। पिलग्रिमेजेस की बात करें तो यहाँ पे हमारे ऑल द रिलीजन्स, हिंदूज हैं, सिख्स हैं, जैन्स हैं, क्रिश्चियंस हैं, उन सब के पिलग्रिमेजेस आपको मध्य प्रदेश में मिलते हैं।
टूरिज्म और हॉस्पिटैलिटी
है ना, इनके बीच में क्या रिलेशन है?
इसका रिलेशन इतना घनिष्ठ है कि आप उसको इस चीज से अंदाजा लगाइए कि आपके घर में कभी मेहमान आते हैं जो, तो मेहमान नवाजी का पहला एक गुण होता है कि हमने उनको अच्छे से रखा, उनका खान पान का ध्यान रखा, वही रिश्ता टूरिज्म एंड हॉस्पिटैलिटी है।
अगर हम इग्नू का रोल जानने की कोशिश करें कि टूरिज्म सेक्टर में मैन पावर को ट्रेन करने के लिए, हॉस्पिटैलिटी प्रोवाइड करने के लिए इग्नू हैज बीन वर्किंग अ लॉट, तो उसमें इग्नू क्या काम कर रहा है, किस तरह का प्रोग्राम से किस प्रकार की ट्रेनिंग आप लोग दे रहे हैं?
इग्नू इज अ एकेडमिक जायंट ऑफ द कंट्री और इतने सारे हमारे रीजनल सेंटर्स हैं, और हम क्योंकि अभी स्पेसिफिकली बात कर रहे हैं मध्य प्रदेश की, तो मैं इसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कहूँगी कि यहाँ पे हमारे को अप्रोच किया था मध्य प्रदेश टूरिज्म कॉर्पोरेशन। हमने 3 सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम्स बनाए हैं, द फोकल एरियाज ऑफ फ्रंट ऑफिस, हाउसकीपिंग एंड F&B सर्विस, और एक पीजी लेवल का हमने डिजाइन करा था कोर्स, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट डिप्लोमा इन होटल ऑपरेशन। तो उसमें सारे जो फोकल एरियाज हैं एक होटल को या टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री को सपोर्ट करने के लिए, उनके लिए बच्चों को दक्षता दी जाती है, उनको ट्रेन किया जाता है। क्योंकि अक्सर ऐसा देखा गया है कि अगर आप IHMs या थोड़े उस तरह 5 स्टार होटल्स को सपोर्ट करने के लिए जो बच्चे हैं, वो जब IHM से पास आउट होके जाते हैं तो वो जनरली दे लीव फॉर बॉम्बे, दिल्ली, पूना, बिकॉज 5 स्टार होटल्स वहाँ पे ज्यादा हैं। मध्य प्रदेश के अंदर जो मीडियम कैटेगरी के होटल्स हैं 3 स्टार्स, वो उनकी गिनती कहीं अधिक है। और दूसरा, ये बच्चे यहाँ से डिस्प्लेस होके दूसरे मेट्रोज में ना जाएं और उनको लोकली अवेलेबल हम करा सके एम्प्लॉयमेंट, ये बहुत अच्छी एक कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन रही इग्नू की।
हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि यूनेस्को ने कुछ वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ऑलरेडी कुछ डेस्टिनेशंस आइडेंटिफाई किए गए जिनके बारे में हम सब लोगों को मालूम है, लेकिन ये कुछ नए डेस्टिनेशंस जो शायद अभी इतने लोकल पार्लेंस में शायद नो नहीं है, तो उनके बारे में कुछ रोशनी डालें।
जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे 3 वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट्स हैं, भीमबेटकी का है, खजुराहो है, और तीसरा हमारा सांची स्तूपास है। तो रिलीजियस पिलग्रिमेजेस तो यहाँ पे ट्रेडिशनल भी है, सभी रिलीजन्स की मैंने जैसे पहले भी मेंशन किया था। अब इसमें क्योंकि नई यंगर जनरेशन को भी इंटरेस्टेड लगे यहाँ पे आना, तो बहुत सारी ऐसी एक्टिविटीज को इसमें प्रमोट किया गया है जिसको हम एडवेंचर टूरिज्म के नाम से हम लोग करते हैं। एक्वा टूरिज्म जो है, दिस इज अ वेरी न्यू कंसेप्ट। हमारा हनुमंतिया एक जगह है जिसमें बहुत बड़ा इंदिरा सागर वाटर रिजर्व है यहाँ पे, और एक चीज जैसे यहाँ का इको टूरिज्म लिविंग इन टेंट्स, जैसे बहुत सारी हमारी वाइल्ड लाइफ हैं, उसमें आप बाकी जगहों में
इंग्लिश मैडम
रुकते हैं, रोड लॉजेस में, पर ये अलग तरह का एक्सपीरियंस लेने के लिए यहाँ पे टेंट्स के अंदर एक स्टेज रहती है, कैंपिंग का जो साइट्स हैं वो भी ऐसे बहुत सारे बन रहे हैं। और बच्चे जो है, अच्छा उसमें ये चीज सबसे अच्छी रहती है कि ऐसी जगहों में बाहर के लोग जो हैं वो आके एम्प्लॉयमेंट देना बहुत ज्यादा आपको दे जाते हैं। पर जब ऐसी छोटी जगहें हैं जैसे कामना, बांधवगढ़ या विलेज में हम रूरल टूरिज्म को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं, तो जो लोकल कम्युनिटी का यूथ है उनके लिए ये चीज बहुत अच्छी है, क्योंकि वो इतने सक्षम नहीं होते हैं कि वो जाके बहुत पढ़ सकें। तो हमारे कोर्सेज जो हैं, क्योंकि इसमें हमारी एलिजिबिलिटी ओनली 12, तो 10वीं 12वीं पास बच्चा जो है उसके लिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट का बहुत अच्छा साधन बन जाता है। और जो लोकल कम्युनिटी है वहाँ पे ऑटोमेटिकली टूरिज्म के आने से बहुत सारी डेवलपमेंट्स हो जाती हैं।
क्योंकि मध्य प्रदेश आदिवासी बहुल क्षेत्र है, यहाँ आदिवासी बहुत है, तो क्या वर्क फोर्स को तैयार करने के लिए, ट्रेनिंग के लिए या अपने सहायक हो सकते हैं, या आपके लिए हर्डल है?
ये बिल्कुल भी हर्डल नहीं है, ये हमारे लिए एसेट है, क्योंकि इसकी जो एक अपनी नॉवेल्टी है, जो एक इसका फ्लेवर है अलग से, वो हमें दूसरी स्टेट्स में देखने को नहीं मिलता। क्योंकि ये लोकल जो यहाँ का कल्चर है उसको हम लोग चाहेंगे कि वो एग्जिबिट तो हो, पर साथ ही साथ उसकी प्रिजर्वेशन भी होनी चाहिए। तो इनफैक्ट हमारे पास एक अली राजपुर यहाँ पे जगह है जो कि बहुत इंटीरियर बेल्ट है ट्राइबल एरिया की, तो वहां से हम लोगों ने सिर्फ लड़कियों को एक मॉड्यूल है पर्सनल ग्रूमिंग और कम्युनिकेटिव स्किल्स पे, तो उससे उनको जब ट्रेनिंग मिली उनमें इतनी दक्षता आई है कि हमारी वो बच्चियां आज वहाँ पे जो धार क्षेत्र है उसके जितने भी प्रोमिनेंट होटल्स हैं उनमें दे आर एम्प्लॉयड।
कुछ ऐसा कोई विशेष एक्सपीरियंस रहा हो जो आपने कोई विशेष टारगेट ग्रुप के लिए भी कुछ किया हो?
ऐसा बैच को प्रशिक्षण दिया था जी, जो कि जन्म से ही कैंपेन में होते, ना वो बोल सकते थे ना वो सुन सकते थे, बट हमने उनके लिए ये चीज सोची कि ये ट्रेनिंग अपनी लेके, क्योंकि जैसे हाउस कीपिंग है जी, हाउस कीपिंग के अंदर ज्यादा बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है और एक बार बच्चा ट्रेन हो जाए तो उनकी ये वाली लिमिटेशंस उनके किसी भी तरह से उनके काम में नहीं आएंगी, बाधा नहीं बनेगी।
नॉर्मल इंटेक और प्लेसमेंट किस प्रकार से रहती है? क्या आप लोग उसके लिए कुछ स्पेशल इनिशिएटिव लेते हैं, कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स होते हैं? तो इंटेक एंड प्लेसमेंट के बारे में थोड़ा सा आप हम लोग को बताइए।
कॉलेज में विजिट करके वहाँ से बच्चों को इंस्पायर करते हैं कि वो स्कूल्स में आकर, कॉलेजेस में तो ये बच्चे जा नहीं सकते हैं, पीजी वाले बच्चों को हम कॉलेज से इंस्पायर कर सकते हैं, बट क्योंकि सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम की एलिजिबिलिटी ही 12th है जी, तो जो ड्रॉप आउट हो जाते हैं बच्चे वहाँ से आगे नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं, तो उन बच्चों को हम कोशिश करते हैं कि वो इस प्रोग्राम से जुड़ सकें। और क्योंकि ये स्किल बेस्ड प्रोग्राम है, 100% स्किल बेस्ड है, तो इसमें दक्षता आते ही, मतलब हमारा 6 मंथ्स के प्रोग्राम्स हैं, तो जो बच्चा बिल्कुल आगे नहीं पढ़ सकता वो केवल 6 महीने की अवधि में अपने लिए रोजगार का इंतजाम उसका हो जाता है। तो ये सिर्फ थ्योरेटिकल प्रोग्राम नहीं रहते हैं कि आपको क्लासरूम में ही बच्चा सिर्फ थ्योरी समझ रहे हैं, हम इनकी ट्रेनिंग के लिए बच्चों को होटल्स में जो है एक्चुअल होटल्स में जाके ये लोग अपनी इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग करते हैं।
हम लोग इसकी बात करते हैं तो लोकल खान पान और कुछ ये टूरिज्म और हॉस्पिटैलिटी मैनेजमेंट के स्टूडेंट कुछ कर पाते हैं इसमें।
भोपाल में बेगमों का राज रहा है, तो बहुत सारी ऐसी जो सीक्रेट ट्रेडिशनल रेसिपीज हैं जो कि शाही रेसिपीज की तरह आपको आई है, जैसे कि यहाँ के बहुत सारे नॉन वेजिटेरियन ऐसी रेसिपीज भी हैं और बहुत सारे डिजर्ट हैं जैसे शाही टुकड़ी और सिवैयाँ, मतलब यहाँ कल्चर का भी ब्लेंड है। बहुत सारे आर्ट फॉर्म्स हैं जिन्होंने मध्य प्रदेश को टूरिज्म के जो मैप में एक प्रोमिनेंट पोजीशन दिलाई है। तो इसके बारे में, क्योंकि अगर हम बात ना करें तो शायद हमारी बात अधूरी रह जाएगी, तो कुछ आप इसके बारे में रोशनी डालें। देखिए इसमें कुमुद जी, ये जो मध्य प्रदेश है ये तानसेन और कालिदास की भूमि है, तो बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा कि ये एक बहुत ही यहाँ पे कला से जुड़े हुए कलात्मक हर तरह की जो परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स हैं उसकी आपको रिफ्लेक्शन यहाँ देखने को मिलती है। खजुराहो टेम्पल इटसेल्फ इज अ पीस ऑफ आर्ट, उसको वर्ल्ड फेम मिली हुई है। और उसके बाद वहाँ पे बहुत ही पॉपुलर समारोह होता है जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं खजुराहो नृत्य समारोह। उसमें हर साल वहाँ पे डांस फेस्टिवल होता है। तो गौरिया डांस आपने बताया ये ट्राइबल लोगों का रहता है, उसमें भी लोग जाते हैं उसको देखने के लिए। और कवि सम्मेलन यहाँ पे भोपाल में एटलीस्ट जो कैपिटल है यहाँ की, इसमें कुछ ना कुछ हमेशा चीजें ऐसी, कवि सम्मेलन है, पेंटिंग्स हैं, तो उन लोगों का यहाँ पे हमेशा एक गैदरिंग होती रहती है और ये चीजें बहुत पॉपुलराइज है यहाँ पे।
पूरे देश में एक ही है, उसका नाम है भारत भवन। भारत भवन में समग्र कलाओं का संकलन आपको देखने को मिलता है। अगर आप यहाँ पर आएंगे तो एक अलग अनुभव, आपको एक अलग एक्सपीरियंस होता है। इसी के साथ साथ यहाँ पर जनजातीय संग्रहालय है, तो जनजातीय संग्रहालय में पूरे देश की जनजातियों का जो संस्कृति है, जो परंपराएं हैं, वहाँ पर उसका प्रदर्शन आपको देखने को मिलता है। भोपाल में मानव संग्रहालय है। इस मानव संग्रहालय में मानव की उत्पत्ति से लेकर आज तक जैसे जैसे उसका विकास हुआ है, तो तमाम चीजें उसमें आपको देखने को मिलती है। भोपाल को संग्रहालयों का शहर भी कहा जाता है। यहाँ पर कई तरह के संग्रहालय, एक दुष्यंत कुमार संग्रहालय है जिसमें जो पांडुलिपियां सुरक्षित करके रखी गई हैं। इसी तरह से और भी दूसरी कई सारी चीजें आपको, स्टेट म्यूजियम है। स्टेट म्यूजियम में जब आप जाएंगे तो आपको पूरे मध्य प्रदेश के जो राजे रजवाड़े और इस तरह की जो स्टेट्स हैं उनका सब आपको यहाँ पर देखने को मिलता है। उनके सिक्के, उनके पहनावे, उनके हथियार, वो सब चीजें उसमें सुरक्षित हैं। आप जाकर देखिए तो इस तरह से। और अपने आप में भोपाल एक बहुत खूबसूरत शहर है। आप ये देख रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर इतना हसीन ये तालाब जो पीछे आपको देखने को मिल रहा है, इसी को देखने के लिए बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं और यहाँ से पर्यटक अपने आप में एक नया एक्सपीरियंस लेकर जाते हैं और बहुत खूबसूरत शहर है। इसके अलावा मध्य प्रदेश में पचमढ़ी जो है एक बहुत शानदार जगह है देखने के लिए। वहां पर एक पाताल कोट है जो कि एक बहुत बड़े एरिया में बिल्कुल ऐसा नीचे पड़ता, वो सब देखने की चीज है।
प्रोफेसर हरकिरत बेंस, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने मध्य प्रदेश में जो टूरिज्म के विकास के लिए इग्नू का जो रोल है उसके ऊपर प्रकाश डाला, जो इग्नू प्रोग्राम्स ऑफर कर रहे हैं और किस प्रकार से ट्रेन कर रहे हैं हॉस्पिटैलिटी एंड सर्विस इंडस्ट्री और टूरिज्म के पूरे क्षेत्र को बढ़ावा देने में कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रहे हैं, उससे प्रकाश डालने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। बद्रुवासी सर, आपने जो संस्कृति के बारे में, आर्ट एंड कल्चर के बारे में और किस प्रकार से मध्य प्रदेश एक प्रोमिनेंट प्लेस हासिल किए हुए हैं इन टूरिज्म मैप, उसमें बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें हम लोगों को बताई और पर्टिकुलरली जो कला के क्षेत्र में योगदान रहा है मध्य प्रदेश का, उसके बारे में हम लोगों को बताया। उसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं मेरे साथी श्री मुसेरिया जी का भी धन्यवाद करती हूँ। उन्होंने पूरी वार्ता को संगठित करने में, कोऑर्डिनेट करने में और एक सूत्र में बांधने में जो एक कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन दिया, तो सर आपका भी
Thank you everyone for waiting with us with patience and being with us. I hope you all enjoyed and have really have gained more information about Madhya Pradesh after listening to that program. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed organizing it, and my colleagues enjoyed shooting the video. So after this wonderful video and presentation and this interaction, that was the interaction of Professor Harkirat Bains, Professor of Tourism and Hospitality Service Management at IGNOU, with our colleagues Ms. Kumud Verma and Mr. C.P. Mursenia. After this interaction and the talk, I call upon all the participants to interact with the speaker. Professor Harkirat Bains is very much with us, and though we have exceeded our time due to technical issues, we have lost about 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm sure many of the viewers are listening to us and they have been waiting to interact. So I request people to unmute their microphones and interact, or we would like to talk to Professor Bains. We can take 3 or 4 questions.
Yes, Dr. Binny Thomas, can I say a few things?
Sure, sir.
Yes. I released this video, certainly a commendable initiative taken by your regional center. But I think that in future, and we can ask the students to, while these kind of webinars are going on, to display the live video from their respective sites. I think it is possible. It will not be difficult. But then we'll have an overall glimpse of the region, and means where the students may be from different locations, but they can, just for a short while, they can give a video of a particular tourist destination and say a few things. So it will be really nice to see in case it can be done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think that is a very wonderful suggestion. Because that would actually, for people who are not in Madhya Pradesh or actually away from Madhya Pradesh in the northeast part of the country, live video of, even if there are few students only, live video from their respective locations would be wonderful. And for the program that we have planned, as I mentioned at the beginning, sir, we are organizing a Google Meet for the students. We will have few students from each regional center sharing their cultural practices, their cuisine, their activities, and so on. So for that program, maybe we'll take this suggestion. It's a wonderful suggestion. We will ask them to join from their live location, which can be may not be from their rooms, from their houses or offices, but actually from the with an environment background, so that those things can also be shared with people who are away. Thank you, sir, for the suggestion.
Ma'am, if I can make a submission or give a humble input. In fact, what Pandey sir has said, I could relate to that suggestion, because while we were shooting the interaction near Lakeside, we were joined in by Shri Bhadrabasti ji, who is an eminent theatre personality in Bhopal and is also a Shire. So, in fact, apart from him, a few more people who were, taking a walk there were able to join in, and they were also more than willing to share their experiences vis-a-vis cultural heritage of Madhya Pradesh. Because time was less and we had to edit the video, so many such inputs and cultural experiences, they could not be included in the final reel, I think. But having the video shot at the live location would make the interaction or the cultural exchange more meaningful. That was my experiences also, and I think my colleague Professor Harkirat Benz ma'am would also agree to this. Although the quality was, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Dr. Kumar. And we can even include various cuisines and other artifacts and art forms if we are taking a live recordings.
Yes, ma'am. For future, we can definitely include these wonderful suggestions for improvement of our programs, because now this webinar series is something which is going to go on, and each RC will have a turn once in 4 months. So we'll get ample opportunity to explore all ideas and make our programs more effective, more interesting, and we will be able to actually fulfill the objective of showcasing Madhya Pradesh to other parts of the country, especially Imphal and Kohima, with whom we are shared for this activity. Thank you, Kumud ma'am and Professor Baines, for that interaction. We can take maybe one last suggestion before we close. Any of the students?
Ma'am,
I
would like to take this opportunity to request Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra sir, Regional Director, Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya, to give us an opportunity to have a virtual tour of that wonderful monument for the students of Nagaland and Imphal, as well as other regions also. We will upload that virtual tour on our Regional Center YouTube channel and other social media channel. So it is our request from our Regional Center to allow us to have such a virtual tour for our students.
It's a good program, sir.
Yes, please go ahead, I think.
Dr. Anshuman Upadhyay, one thing I forgot to mention. Will you allow me for a minute?
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay. So for the students only and for the general enthusiast of the subject, I would like to mention that our IGRMS Facebook page and YouTube channel, YouTube links, not the channel, but the links. There are various videos available on the open air exhibitions of the IGRMS, which portrayed the culture of Northeast and other tribal areas. These are the short videos made by our in-house resources. The orators are our curatorial staff only, and very simple in the language, very simple in the subject, and very easy to understand. So I would like the students and the general enthusiasts of the subject to please go through. And also we are conducting Object of the Week program. That is an online program which portray one object of the week, which has 2-3 pictures of the object and a short write-up on that. That is also available on the Facebook page and Facebook ID of the IGRMS. So that's all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that information. Thanks a lot. So I think many of our colleagues are also there from the regional centers, and I'm thankful that Dr. U.C. Pandey and Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra is still with us. Dr. Mishra ji is also with us throughout the program. We are really grateful that you all have taken out time for this important program. This has encouraged us. Thanks a lot. Dr. Mohapatra, sir, would you like to give us few suggestions so that we can improvise further?
No, I was listening to both the speakers. Very informative talk. Really interesting. A lot of information shared. But the video interaction between Professor Harkirat Ben and Kumud Burma was mostly in Hindi. When we are showcasing Madhya Pradesh to our colleagues in the Northeast, particularly in Imphal and Nagaland, little bit of conversation in English would have definitely helped them to know Madhya Pradesh in a much better way. But it is a wonderful information, and a lot of initiative has been taken by all the people from the regional centers, and I appreciate the effort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful suggestion, because actually when we were in our meetings, we had discussed that we have to take care of people in Imphal and Kohima, Manipur and Nagaland, and they are mostly not non-Hindi speaking, but somehow it turned out like that. But definitely for our future programs, we'll consciously make an effort to be bilingual or use more of English in some way, so that at least the information is passed on to them. Thank you, sir, for that suggestion. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir, and we'll keep it in mind the next time. Definitely we'll keep this point. Thank you so much for your input, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I think we have got a lot of suggestions and interactions. So in the interest of time, and all our distinguished people who have joined us in spite of their busy schedules, Mohapatra sir, in spite of his leave, has been with us so much.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Swami from Nagaland.
Yes, please. Please introduce yourself and go ahead. We are unable to see you.
I'm Dr. Peri Swami from Nagaland, madam.
Please go ahead.
What sir told is that better please little care for the language, little English, because we are Nagaland, Manipur, non-speaking Hindi. Kindly take care.
Thank you. Yes, definitely we'll be extra careful. And Dr. Mohapatra, being in touch with all the states, is definitely well aware of all the issues and challenges. And that's why sir promptly noticed that issue. We'll definitely keep that in mind for the future programs. Before I hand over the platform to my colleague Oinam Jayalakshmi for the vote of thanks, I thank everyone present here, and I say that let us all come together to make our country more strong and work together for the progress and development of our organization and the country. हम मिलकर देश को, हमारे इस देश को साक्षर, स्वच्छ, सक्षम, श्रेष्ठ और एक भारत बनाए. So with these words, I hand over the mic to Jayalakshmi, and with your kind permission, we'll close. After the vote of thanks, we will all stand up for the national anthem. Jayalakshmi, please. Please unmute your microphone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Sorry. Good evening to everyone present here. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, respected Program Chair of the meeting, Dr. Umesh Pandey, Director RST, Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra, Guest of Honor, Professor S. Harkirat Ben, Chief Speaker, coordinators, and all the participants. It is such an honor to me to get the opportunity to thank you all on behalf of the organizing team of the webinar of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat. I would like to express my gratitude to all esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar a great success. I extend my gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Shrikant Mohapatra, for taking out time from his busy schedule to grace the event. Thank you for inspiring and encouraging us with your words on the webinar. Once again, we would like to thank you for delivering encouraging speech and wonderful suggestion for future coming webinar. Thank you, sir. A special thanks to Program Chair, Dr. Umesh Pandey, Director of IGNOU, for providing immense support to make the webinar successful. At the very outset, I, on behalf of our organizing committee, would like to express my sincere gratitude and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Praveen Kumar Mishra, Director Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya, Bhopal, for gracing the webinar as the guest of honor. Today, we had an opportunity to hear thoughts and ideas on culture and the role of the IGRMS in traditional and culture in tribal areas. This will surely be going to encourage us in our future webinars. Sir, we all are inspiring by your great words. Thank you, sir. I, on behalf of the organizing committee and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Professor S. Harkiran Bans for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and showcasing Madhya Pradesh. Thank you for giving us an excellent coverage to tourism ideas, historical place, culture, and flora and fauna of Madhya Pradesh. Thank you, ma'am. I also wish to express my gratitude to organizing team, Dr. Binny Toms, RDRC Bhopal, Dr. Somasi Srinivas, RD Jabalpur, Dr. Mayumi Simbre, RD Kohima, Dr. S.J. Nechirajan, RD Imphal, for providing encouragement to give vote of thanks. My sincere thanks goes to Dr. Anshuman Upadhyay, Deputy Director, RC Bhopal, who has also played a key role in every step of the planning of process of this webinar. I must thank to Ms. Kumud Verma, Assistant Regional Director, RC Bhopal, and Mr. C.P. Mursenia, Section Officer, RC Bhopal, for their enormous cooperation in the organizing of this webinar and contribution of showcasing Madhya Pradesh. I also extend my thanks to coordinator, academic counselor, and their learners who present here and the webinar and contribution to make this webinar a great success. Last but not the least, I feel this vote of thanks will not be complete without putting on record the dedication, cooperation, and camaraderie of my colleagues and all the staffs of from RCs for their active participation and making this webinar successful. Thank you, everyone, once again for making it great success of the webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jayalakshmi. That was my colleague, Dr. Jayalakshmi, Assistant Director at IGNOU Regional Center, Imphal. Now, I request all of you to stand for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे
Thank you all. Thank you everyone.